President Trump is now declaring places of worship essential, calling upon states to allow religious institutions to open.
He says he will override governors who do not follow those new federal guidelines.
KIMT News 3's Annalise Johnson is finding out how local churches are responding to now being considered essential.
Katie, George, places of worship are well in the routine of getting creative to practice their faith, worshiping instead from their computers through live streams, YouTube videos, and Zoom meetings. President Trump wants to see Americans stop worshiping from their screens and get back to their sanctuaries as soon as this weekend. One of the southeastern Minnesota faith leaders I spoke with today tells me churches are essential, but worshiping inside a sanctuary is not. Pastor Nissa Peterson of Chatfield Lutheran Church says her church is dedicated to loving and serving its neighbors, and right now that means leaving the pews empty. This evening she hosted a virtual prayer session for members of her congregation.
It celebrates that God is with us through it all. No matter how we gather, no matter when we gather, God is with us.
Her church will meet in person when it's declared safe by state leaders and local health agencies. The CDC released suggested guidelines for reopening religious institutions, including using face coverings, holding services in large areas or outdoors, frequent cleaning, social distancing, and decreasing singing, chanting, and reciting.
The leaders in the faith community should be in touch with their local health departments so that they can communicate to their congregates.
He's made our job very much harder.
Pastor Eric Carl Hentis of Good Shepherd Lutheran Church in Rochester tells me church leadership is discussing the best ways to move forward. But right now, opening church doors doesn't feel like the right answer.
The reality is that particularly Christian worship, but just about any kind of worship that would happen in a house of worship like he has declared as essential services includes all kinds of activities that are a perfect storm for spreading the virus.
Good Shepherd leaders decided to stay closed until further notice.
So it's put us pastors in a really difficult bind.
And the president's declaration is not changing that decision.
Unfortunately, it's awfully polite. It's dangerous. It's misguided.
Pastor Nissa shared with me the lyrics of a childhood church song. It goes, "The church is not a building, the church is not a steeple, the church is not a resting place, the church is a people." And that seems to be the stance of both of these local faith leaders when considering how to move forward. Live in Rochester, Annalise Johnson, KIMT News 3.
Thanks, Annalise. The CDC's guidelines do not mandate places of worship open, but is providing leeway for churches to make their own choices.
The Council on American Islamic Relations opposes the call to open places of worship and is unlikely to change its restrictions despite the new guidance.